know I left you in suspense. I'm going to get right to it. Congratulations. We would like to extend an offer to join Google as a step intern. Yay.
Sorry, give me 1 second. Sorry. It's just been working really hard.
I know you have, and it shows.
You lied to me! Don't lie to me! Don't lie to me! Yeah!
Getting the Google Step internship was honestly it blew my mind, and it was like a dream come true for me. I didn't think that it was something that was possible for me. I mean, it's Google. I don't have an Ivy League school on my resume or anything, so I didn't even think that they would look at it. But thank God they did. So I'm making this video so that I can help you get the best chances of getting your resume seen in the same way that I did. So I'm gonna dive into the 3 most crucial sections of the resume and what I did to get them to the level that they got Google's attention, as well as the advice that I was given by Google recruiters when they looked at my resume. I'll even show you how to get a super easy short-term internship that you can use to beef up your resume before you apply to Google. So let's start with the section of your resume that I believe is the quickest to improve, and that is the projects section. Now, coming into my sophomore year, I didn't have any projects on my resume besides the one that I did in my computer science class. So the summer after my freshman year, I decided to look for a course that had a project inside the curriculum, but not just any project, and I need to emphasize something here. It needed to be a big project. I made sure to find a course with a project that taught me how to build the front end, the back end, and a database, all in one project. In my head, I was thinking it would teach me the most, and it would give me the deepest and most competitive skill set when it was time to show that off on my resume. Now, I don't recommend the course that I took because it was expensive. It had a monthly fee, and the instructors didn't even finish teaching us how to build the project. But I did find a few free courses here on YouTube that teach you the front end and the back end and how to build a whole project. So I recommend you doing one of those. I'm going to link them in the bio. The other part of that is to make sure that you create a GitHub and you hold all your projects there. Now, if you want to stand out, here's where I recommend that you make your projects interactive. I created a portfolio website with my smaller and my bigger projects, but the smaller ones you can actually use, like the FizzBuzz and the palindrome checker, as you can see on the screen right now. So instead of just looking through your code, they can see something that actually works right in front of their eyes. If you could do something like this with your smaller or even your bigger projects, I think that's going to give you a huge advantage as an applicant. I actually showed this very website to one of the Google recruiters that came to my school, and he asked me to message him on LinkedIn with my links so that he could show some of the people on his team. I never heard from him again, but it was at least impressive enough that he asked me to do that. So I think it's a good thing to have. Next, let's talk about employment and experience. So towards the end of my first computer science class, I spoke with my professor about becoming a TA for her. She told me that I'd have to wait until I finished my second programming class, and of course I'd have to do well in both of them. And when the time came, I was able to be a TA for both Programming 1 and Programming 2. And this allowed me to bring CS experience to the employment section of my resume. If you have the time and you're early enough in your CS career, I recommend that you do this as well. And this brings me to a key point that I learned from a Google seminar that I attended, and that is to align all sections of your resume with computer science. I've noticed for a lot of people that ask me to look at their resume, in their employment section, they have jobs like JCPenney or the mall, some stores that aren't related to computer science at all. If you can replace this type of work with computer science type of work, you're going to be in a good spot. Now, if you don't want to become a TA, that's fine. There are other options. You can become a tutor of one of the classes that you finish taking. You can of course do this through a tutoring website or through your school, or if you have the skill set, you can always get into freelance work if you know how to build bigger projects. Finally, let's get to the last and the most important part, the internship section. Now, I had heard that big companies like Google and Microsoft expected you to have an internship on your resume before you apply to their internship. So during my first semester, in my first class, like a week or two in, the professor came to us and said that she had a class that she was going to teach that was going to be counting as an internship. This class was called Teaching Computational Thinking. Now, that was going to be my 6th class of the semester. I wasn't even sure that I was going to be able to handle it, but I did it, and I think that made all the difference in me getting the Google internship. If your university doesn't have this type of opportunity, there is something else that I found. So during one of the classes I was a TA for, this professor came in and spoke to us about this opportunity called a micro internship. It's pretty much like a normal internship, but it's a little bit shorter. As far as I know, it's an easier interview process. Now, although I haven't done this myself, it sounds like a pretty good opportunity, and from what I understand, it's not tied to any university. So if I was you, I'd do some research, Google it, and see if you can get into that. And lastly, if you can't get into either of those internships, the last opportunity would be to talk to your network, see if your mother, your brother, father, mother's friends, or whatever have a company that they have the opportunity that they can give you an internship. Just something to start off, just this first little experience that'll help you get the bigger Google or Microsoft internship in the future. Yo, man, this video right here, my camera, for my YouTube channel. It's a secret, you can't watch it. It's about super mature things. I'm just kidding, it's about computers. One of the ways that they say in this Google presentation to explain your resume is accomplish X as measured by Y by doing Z, as you can see on the screen here. So make sure that you're using this format when you're making your resume explanations and descriptions. Now the second thing, and this is something that I was told personally from a recruiter that looked at my resume, was to use numbers more to convey my accomplishment. Now I pulled up my resume here on my computer. Over here in the section where we talk about the internship and I speak about teaching the weekly lessons to the kids, she had me put in exactly how many kids that I was teaching the lessons to. She also had me add in the teaching assistant part that I was teaching over 100 students and that I was grading hundreds of assignments, all numbers that can measure exactly what I was doing. If you have any specific questions about your resume, please comment them down below and I'll answer them as best as I can. And the next video I release will be about the interview process, so stay tuned for that. Thank you again so much, Google, for the opportunity, and thank you guys for watching. See you on the next one.